Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Etheridge, and I am going to be sharing with you about how I created my own textbook using OneNote and open source. My email address is right there on the screen for you. I teach at St. Paul's Episcopal School in Mobile, Alabama. I'm in my 22nd year there and have taught various things. When I started this project of open source OneNote, I was teaching English. So I'll share that backstory a little bit. My Twitter handle is ketheridge, and I am proud to be a Microsoft expert educator and thankful for the support that Microsoft provides for me to be able to do things like share my experience with you. So I'll just start off that in 2008, I had a bunch of different things that I had to handle. A textbook, and then of course we had Edline, which is, I don't even know if it exists anymore, but like the best, basically an online grading place. And then we had OneNote, OneDrive, Office 365, and I was trying to put it all in one place. And my IT director asked me if he thought that I could put my textbook on, just create my own textbook. And I started looking at the resources that were in my book versus the resources I could find online. Since it was all world literature, it was all copyright, the copyright had expired on it. I was like, absolutely, I could do this. And so in 2008, I created my own textbook using open source resources. Back then, there wasn't a class notebook. But what I found was, even though it was a scary journey, what I found was that it freed me up to do so many different things, and it allowed me to venture into an area where I didn't have to, we all supplement anyway, but I didn't have to think about, well, the textbook tells me to do it this way. I could just craft the way I thought was best for my students. And so that led to not only me going textbook free, but helping my colleagues to do that as well. We had a learning initiative where we moved our one-to-one program down to 5th and 6th grade. And we had the headmaster at the time asked me to expand the concept of the open source use. And so I helped the teachers in those grade levels create textbooks with open source resources. And they all did it in a OneNote class notebook, because by that point OneNote had evolved to a class notebook platform so that we could put everything in one place. So that the benefits of a OneNote class notebook, if you haven't heard of OneNote before, it's a digital 3-ring binder where you can access everything from anywhere. So it doesn't matter if my students are on their phone or at their grandparents or at the library or with their computer or a school computer, they have the capability of getting to all of their resources. I'm able to give them feedback immediately when I see their work, because I can automatically see their work because it bolds as they do things. I can personalize it and give specific assignments to specific students and challenge some and reinforce with others, and it automatically saves. There's no worry about them forgetting to save and losing their work, and always backing up to the cloud. And I love the fact that it's really rich with digital ink. So if they have a device that allows for digital inking, that just adds a whole nother layer to it. It has become now in cooperation with Teams, it has become the resource that we all use. So it started, I was using it, then 5th and 6th grade started using it, and then the whole middle school started using it. And now basically there's just a few teachers who aren't, but basically all 5th through 12th grade teachers are using it. Most 5th grade through 12th grade teachers are using it. And it was such a great savior when we went remote last year. So we were able to flip everything around and go with less than 48 hours notice, go from an in-person classroom to a virtual classroom, because we all had Teams and we all had OneNote, and we were able to just go, oh, well, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. So that was super helpful and wonderful for us to be able to do. And so that is why I say it's the tool that just keeps us grounded and keeps us where we need to be. In a class notebook, if you're not familiar, there are 3 sections. There are student notebooks, which are private notebooks that only the student and you can see. None of the other classmates can see that. The content library is where I would share my resources. So all the stuff that I curate and collect and create myself goes in that content library, and it's read only, so students can see it, but they can't modify it. And then I can send them individual pages or specific pages that I want them to work on and modify. And as soon as it comes out of my content library and into their personal section, then they're able to see it or to modify it. They can see it either place, but they won't be able to change it. But as soon as they get it in their space, they're able to write on it or modify it however I want them to. And then the collaboration space is an awesome place for them to work together on projects. And it's also been great in our hybrid environment this year of being able to pass the paper. So I've been able to do things where we would normally take a paper and do something with it and then pass it to the person to the right. I've been able to say, okay, now move one person down on the page. And so they've been able to rotate through each other's work and review each other's work that way. In the notebook, there's a class notebook ribbon, and that allows you can see here, I can distribute pages, I can distribute new sections as plastic dividers, I can copy to the content library, so wherever I'm creating, I can copy to content libraries, and then I can also review student work. So I can flip through, literally, I can go and choose the assignment for yesterday, and I can flip through each person's assignment, grade it right there on my computer screen, and then move to the next person and quickly get through everybody's work. It's great, of course. ITSG standards are there. It's model and design implementation of technology enhanced learning experiences for those coaches that may be interested in helping teachers do this. Definitely gets us into that digital age learning environment, and I can just repeat multiple times that the ability to transfer from our in-person class to a virtual hybrid model has been OneNote and Teams is what's made that possible. So even now when we're back, but students are coming in and out, either on quarantine or chosen to be virtual, it's really super easy for us to go, okay, well, it's all there. So we're just building, curating everything in OneNote, and it allows for that seamless transition back and forth in and out of the classroom. And then for students, of course, it empowers them, because not only are they able to work independently, but they're able to work together in the notebook. And they also are able to interact with us. So I'll give the example of my daughter's math teacher. She saw that she was doing work in the note in her homework for the night in her study hall, and saw that she was doing it wrong, and she was able to give her a little feedback, so that when my daughter got home that day to finish the homework and saw that she was doing it wrong, she was able to fix everything and not practice incorrectly for a whole day. So that's just one quick little tidbit or example of how that can benefit. It's just super powerful to be able to empower them to be able to work and even say, hey, I have a draft in there. Can you look at it? Can you give me feedback? I know it's not due for a little while. Or keeping track of whether they're taking notes and how they're doing. And then that ability for them to work in the collaboration space together and work seamlessly and quickly in one spot. So I'm going to show you, for example, in this OneNote notebook, I've gone from English teacher to computer science teacher, by the way, in this last 12, 14 years. So, so you'll see here is my computer science principles class notebook, and I've got a welcome section, just basically just a cover page, and then the collaboration space. So here, when we did the design challenge, you'll see that each group was able to work together on a project and see everybody's stuff together. We were able to create group norms together. And then as they worked on different things, we've just been able to transfer that over. And then you'll see that in here, I have a different section, a plastic divider for each one of our content areas. And I was on this page. This is a perfect example of open source. This textbook is completely online, and I was able to, free, accessible to anyone, and I was able to print the pieces that were relevant to my students in the notebook. And then they were able to, of course, move this over to their section as well, and they were able to highlight it, write on it, and annotate it as they read, in order to make sure that they were prepared for the conversation that we had on this content. So then you'll see that because I'm the teacher, I've got a teacher only section that only I can see. And then you'll see that I have all of my students here as well. And each one of them has private sections of everything that we are doing. If I were to choose class notebook and hit review student work, review student work, you'll see that I have, I can pick a section, and then I can pick a page, and it'll allow me to flip through each one of them and see the work that they have done. And it's just an embedded thing, which brings me to the beauty of the fact that this is embedding a make code, a project, like a computer program that they designed, but I can also embed YouTube videos and other different things in here. I think somewhere in here there's an example of YouTube videos that I had embedded, but there's lots of things that you can embed in here, which is super great, because then again, they're not going out to do the work, they're staying in OneNote and having everything that they need right in this one place. So if, of course, we had the opportunity to be together, and this was a live session of the interactive session that was planned to be rather than a poster session, this is where I would have given you a bit more. We would have played around with OneNote a bit and that kind of thing. And then we would have moved into this resource. This open source resources basically is a symbol of all the different resources I've curated over the years to help teach my teachers find resources that would allow them to use open source. And the other link is just a link to this quick little PowerPoint. But in the poster session in the portfolio that we've created for the ISTE presentation, you'll see that in addition to, since we weren't able to be together, I have added a number of OneNote courses that you can take to learn more about OneNote and how to use it and how to incorporate it into a hybrid learning environment. So thank you for the time, and I hope that you enjoy this. And of course, feel free to reach out, Twitter, email, or on the conversation in this poster to let me know if you need anything.